Hey there, I'm Danielle Hudak. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a diabetes care and education specialist, and I recorded this video in our small group to explain the fat browning process and what Neorafit and how it works with that. So I hope you enjoy the video and feel free to share it. A lot of people are very interested in this browning of fat and lots of research over the years, and it's really coming to head right now about what can we do to convert white fat to brown fat. And what is really cool is we are ahead of the game. We are one of the first to come out with this process and the system behind it all. So what I want you guys to think about is there's not one ingredient in Neorafit that makes you just turn into brown fat, okay? We're gonna talk about white fat and brown fat, but I just want you guys, it's the whole picture. It's the whole system. So I'm gonna break that down to you here right now. So what causes fat? Does anybody know? Yeah, tell me. Yeah, so overeating, consumption of bad stuff over time, and you don't burn it off, so you store it as fat, and you store it usually as white fat. So that's the fat where we know hangs out in our middle section, in our booty, maybe on our arms, maybe in our neck area. Anywhere that this lovely fat likes to stick, it does. So if we don't burn off the energy and the calorie stores that we have throughout the day, we will store them as fat. And over time, we just get larger and larger and larger. And they do multiply. But guess what? Once you have white fat, it never goes away. Yeah. So you still have these white fat cells. They either get larger or they get smaller. Okay, so yeah, we want to, obviously, as you lose weight, they get smaller. Okay, so just to kind of show you a little bit how that looks, you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but lean and then large. Okay, so they just kind of swell up and they kind of overcome your body over time, and it's really hard to lose. Once you lose, the metabolism gets all messed up, and then you gain it all back. And so there's this whole huge yo-yo effect with weight management that is really hard to control. So Neora has found a way to figure out how to take white fat and turn it into brown fat. Now, what is brown fat? Brown fat is what a lot of us were born with. Actually, hopefully everybody was born with. That was basically our entire fat when we were born. And that's why you have to wrap babies in blankets, because they don't have the white fat to keep them all warm and cozy, okay, like we do. So we don't need to go with a jacket outside, but those little babies, they need to be bundled up because it's hard for them to process the heat. And so they use the brown fat to process heat to keep them warm. So, and then over time, as they start to eat, they start to develop the white fat as what adults have. So we have different areas of the body that has this brown fat, but over the years, they're starting to say, wait a second, we can convert white fat to brown fat. And what is brown fat? Why do we care about brown fat? Well, brown fat is full of mitochondria, which is a great energy store process, and it helps you produce energy and burn calories faster, like multiple times faster than white fat actually would. So what our goal is, I don't know if I can show you here, is we want to, with Neorafit, help you in this process of sliding this white fat to beige fat to brown fat. And you can see the brown fat has all these little brown areas, which are the mitochondria. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. But we do that through a process and a protein that's called an uncoupling protein 1. I know. This is where the nerd stuff comes out. And it's UCP1. There are a couple other ways that you can brown fat. And that's not, one of those is not something that we are not focused on with Neorafit, but this is the process. If you look this up, look it up, UCP1, uncoupling protein. So instead of us having to shiver to produce brown fat, because that's typically how people have to get to brown fat, is you have to basically stand outside for hours, or this one is called the unshivering thermogenesis. So you're going to produce heat, energy, metabolism through moving into the brown fat. So brown fat will produce this non-shivering, so we don't have to stay in the cold to actually produce this brown fat. With the Neorafit products, okay? Clear as mud? Great. So what stimulates brown fat? So what Neorafit is doing is putting us in this perfect storm for us to start to brown the fat. And you need several things to happen. And so what's really cool is Neorafit has the supplements, it has the dietary compounds that you need for it. And then we also help with support from other things as well. So what you need to stimulate this browning of fat is you need dietary support. So I will share what each of our Neorafit products do and how they are supporting the browning of fat. You also need some probiotics and metabolites, which we have. You also need high melatonin levels. If you don't know what melatonin is, it is what is produced in our own body produces it to get us sleepy at nighttime. So the higher the melatonin, the higher amount of brown fat we will have. And exercise. Exercise is a stimulation for turning white fat into brown fat. So if you see someone that's very lean, guess what? They don't have a lot of white fat. It's basically their brown fat and it's moving and the energy stores are burning everything off. So that's what we're going to help you start to do in a safe and effective way. All right, so how do I don't know why I don't have my supplements with me. Dang it. It's okay. You guys can see it. Many of you are already taking it. But Neorafit is a 3-step process, and it's throughout the day, morning, noon, evening. And if you move those around a little bit, it's not going to cause a big issue. So we have the Slim and Skin, we have the Block and Balance, and we have the Calm and Cleanse. So I'm going to talk about how the ingredients in those and how they support the browning of fat process. So the first one in the morning, I usually take it with coffee just because I love coffee, but it actually has high amounts of polyphenol. I know you guys have heard that word before. And also, I always say this wrong, chlorogenic acid, which means it helps support the UCP1 protein that we just talked about with the activity and energy of fat browning. Okay, so we have the green coffee tea extract. And when I say extract, I don't know if you guys know what extract means. So basically, it's not just saying, I'm going to drink a cup of green tea. No. Or green coffee, or whatever that is. They actually take a bean and they extract out the good stuff that we need to make it work. So it's like very, very, very potent, strong. It's not like a tiny amount, like it is the amount that you need to do the job. So that's what extract means. We have a lot of extracts in these products, which means you get the best of that. So you're going to hear me say that a couple times. We have MCT oil. If you don't know much about that, it is amazing. I've been using it actually for 2 years, especially on the days that I work out. But it helps support the fat browning process through regulating the UCP1 as well. What's really cool about that oil, if you don't know, it kind of bypasses, it goes to the liver and it kind of bypasses so you don't like gain weight from this oil, which is really cool. So it's just really, really awesome and you don't store it as fat. So that's really cool. So those are 2 main ones in the morning. The other 2 in the noontime, which is our Block and Balance. If you've not tried it, it's basically licking the box of cereal at the bottom of the Fruit Loops or the Fruity Pebble bag. It's so good. I look forward to it every single day because it tastes amazing, number one, but it has pro and prebiotics in it. So one of the probiotics in it is Lactobacillus plantarum, I know, TC1507, okay? So we have millions and trillions of probiotics in our body. We've over time lost a lot of those through bad diet, through just chemicals that are happening. If you don't support a good, healthy gut microbiome, your body's not going to function to its highest ability. So what we're doing with this noontime one was we're giving you 2 probiotics and prebiotics. This probiotic that I'm specifically talking about, it helps process of dietary fats. So that's awesome. And so it's also going to help balance the microbiota, and which is, just basically helps us with our total fitness. So which will aid us in the browning of fat. The prebiotic blend that we have, it's 3 prebiotics, which is great fiber, number 1, but it says by the possible induction of browning markers in the white fat cells. So when the white fat cells, like it's making them, it's kind of triggering them to start to fire the browning process inside there. So it's like, so these prebiotics will help kind of spark that. So that's really awesome. The Calm and Cleanse has two main ingredients in it. One is the banana extract, and we call it Happy Banana. I don't know if you know much about that, but and I'm just going to tell you, all of these have been recent studies on them. We actually have our own clinical trials on a lot of these ingredients, and they have been featured in many scientific articles and journals. So just want you guys to know, I'm not just pulling Happy Banana out of my banana to share this with you. But it helps support melatonin levels. Remember what I said earlier about melatonin? The higher melatonin levels that you have, the more fat browning you will also have. So when you take this Calm and Cleanse in the evening time, some people take it after dinner with water or tea, maybe a decaf tea. It's so delicious. Tastes like, got a little pineapple, kind of a tropical taste to it. So it's really, really good. It helps your body's stores of tryptophan and turns it into melatonin, which is so cool. So you get this relaxation effect, you sleep deeper. I've had so many people tell me that they're sleeping more sound than they ever have. And what do we know about sleep? We need it, number 1. It helps with metabolism. Low amounts of sleep leads to obesity. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So if you're sleeping bad, you're gonna struggle with your weight. That's it. So it definitely promotes sleep quality and increase that melatonin, which we said helps with that. The other thing that's in there is greens. So there's broccoli sprouts, mint, aloe vera, morning leaf, barley grass, spinach, and artichoke. You probably had no idea that all that was in a little packet. I have been known myself to not want to take the time to make tea or warm it up in water or put it in water. I literally just take the packet, put a little on my tongue, take a drink of water, little on my tongue, take a drink of water. I like the taste of nutrition. And so I can taste every single one of these things in that packet. It's kind of like it's literally like a burst of whoa, whoa, whoa going on in your mouth. So I dare you to try it. I dare you. It's potent, but man, I'm like, you can taste all those things. I tasted the artichoke. I really did taste the artichoke. So what this does is it helps support digestive health, gut cleansing. With the mint leaf, it contains menthol. That has been shown to not only improve digestion, but also support the fat browning process. So you can see why every one of these components is very, very important from taking that white fat and turning it into brown fat. That is basically all I have. I hope that you guys learned something new today. I know I did after reading this. This was not even on, all of this was on my list, but literally these are all the chicken scratch notes that I was going to talk to you guys about. And then I got a PowerPoint presentation that I was like, oh, this is amazing. So definitely there's a lot more that I think also helps aid in the fat browning process. Number 1 is our entire system, which is we encourage exercise. We encourage mindful eating, which is healthier eating. We also encourage the reduced eating window, which means we don't want you to eat for 18 hours of the day. We want you to kind of reduce that window, trying to go down to around 12, maybe less if you can. What that does is it helps our body process that food better. It also decreases insulin resistance, which we know leads to obesity and diabetes. So, less eating window is better for you as well. And just that healthy gut microbiome is huge. And so as you're doing all of these things, you're drinking water, which increases metabolism, you're exercising, all these things we encourage with Neorafit, and we help you with that. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope that you got some information out of that. And I sure hope that you decide that Neorafit is a great fit for you. Once you do decide, please let your brand partner know to add you to our amazing support group. Look forward to meeting you someday. Bye.